I'm here to talk about the elephant in the room. Why does drawing take so bleeping long, especially when you're doing really realistic drawings? It takes forever. Let's try to break it down and figure out why is it that it takes so long. So in my beginning lessons, usually I can cover a huge range of skill sets talking about how to do your outlines accurately, your proportions, perspective, shading, how lighting falls on objects. I can cram all of that into about 15 hours worth of lessons. But then after you have those basic skill sets, oftentimes the nicer, more realistic drawings that we're going to be working on will take 15 to 20 to 30 hours just on one single drawing. Why is that? It's because moving matter takes time. So you want to think of drawing like you're building a house. When you're building a house, you're moving a bunch of materials around, you're waiting for cement to dry, you're waiting for the weather to be right, you're having to move things to organize it into a space. And drawing, even though you're just using your graphite pencil on the paper, it's still physical matter. It's really thin, tiny physical matter, but you're moving matter around and you have to get the right pressure, you have to get the values right, you have to layer in the right way, you have to get the texture to look right. So you're moving all of that matter around in order for the drawing to look realistic, and that just takes time. One of my favorite documentaries is the movie Tim's Vermeer. It's a documentary that follows Tim Jennison as he creates a camera obscura system and recreates the room that is in one of Vermeer's paintings. When Tim recreates the room, of course it took a lot of time because he was actually building a set. He actually even used tools and items that were appropriate for the time that the painting would have been painted, so tools from long ago. But there are only 34 or 37, depending on who you talk to, Vermeer paintings that are in existence, so even Vermeer likely worked very slowly. You can see in this second photo the way that the camera obscura works in this situation. All Tim has to do is mix paint that matches a color on a section of the set he's built in order to paint a copy of Vermeer's painting. It's such a fascinating project, and I love this movie, but what's so fascinating about it is that even with just needing to match paint colors to a section of a mirror that's reflecting the paint color that he needs, Tim doesn't have to make any proportion or perspective or shading decisions. All he's doing is matching the paint color, and it still takes him 180 days to complete the copy of the Vermeer painting. 180 days! Moving matter, even if it's really flat like paint or pencils, takes as much time as moving big matter like building a house or a highway. The second reason that drawings take so bleeping long is because we want them to be quality. So if you think of it like building a house, oftentimes your contractor will say, I can deliver good quality, fast production, or cheap cost. And you can only pick two of those three things. Well, we're lucky in drawing because supplies are relatively inexpensive, so we can already pick cheap. But you're not usually going to get fast and good at the same time. So most people I find, and I'm included in this, unless they're some sort of production commercial artist, you can't move quickly when you're drawing and get good quality, at least not something that looks hyper realistic. I teach students all day long throughout the week, and I would say maybe 10 to 20% of them are really, really fast. But those students who work that quickly, they don't usually produce the same high quality as my students who work exceptionally slow. So slowing down is just a part of delivering good quality in a drawing. Okay, so for this example, in my drawing of Sam and Hermie, it took me probably about 3 to 5 hours just to set up the accurate outlines freehand. And then it took me anywhere from 15 to 30 hours to actually shade it in. Why do I say 15 to 30 hours? That's such a huge range. It was days in the studio, and I honestly didn't pay attention. Sometimes if I pay attention to the amount of time it takes me to draw, it gets a little bit depressing. So I just get in the zone, I do the drawing, I do the work, and it takes however long it takes. But I don't actually pay attention to how many hours it was because All I'm going to do is keep drawing as slowly as possible to get the quality of work that I want until the drawing is done. Another artist I like to refer to is Karmel Timmons. So in this photo you can see she draws horses in a hyper-realistic style. She only completes 20 to 30 drawings a year, and each drawing takes 150 to 200 hours to complete. That makes my 20 to 30 hours seem really fast. So unfortunately, I don't think there's any way around the fact that drawings just take so long to execute, but hopefully you can find yourself slowing down and enjoying the process and not being in this I must finish production mode, but instead enjoying the time that you take to make drawings that you really care about, because it is that lovely flow state and you do get kind of a nice zone meditative quality out of it. And you can be a little bit more patient with yourself when you realize that doing really nice drawings takes a really long time, even for a professional artist too.